And welcome to BYJU'S exam prep channel, which is dedicated to your success as an MBA aspirant. And today I plan to continue this series that we started a while ago. And the goal is to sit down together and go through some 500 really high quality questions so that you get a leg up in your preparation. So if you're new to this channel, do not forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you get a notification every single time when somebody from the team or we go live. And subscription also allows you to participate in the chat, right? So my name is Vikrant. In case you're new here, I am going to be your personal coach for all things related to English and communication skills. Additionally, if you think that there is something that is bothering you, something that is preventing you from delivering your best to your CAT preparation, and you are at a loss, you don't know what is going wrong, you don't even know who to talk to, then in that case, when you do not know anybody else, you can always go ahead and reach out to me. I will help you get unstuck. I'll help you get move forward. Okay, so let's go ahead and work on our 11th session. So far, just a quick recap for you. So far, I've taken you through all the possible question varieties. So we've gone through reading comprehension, right? We've of course gone through para jumbles. We have gone through paragraph odd one out. I have also taken you through para completion hell. There is a session where we even looked at critical reasoning, a couple of questions, because that's practically the foundation for the entire course. And therefore, I believe it's going to be really very useful for you to attend these sessions so that you get adequate practice. My goal is to ensure that you and I start thinking alike, start approaching the question in identical ways, and that is going to make a sea of difference to your performance. After all, I've gone on to have score 100% and 100 percentile in VARC, so I know a thing or two about excellent performances. So take a deep breath, focus, and get ready for your passage. Start. The moment you're done reading these couple of paragraphs, update me in the comment box and I'll take you over to the next slide. Good afternoon, Pratyush. I just saw this. How are you doing, Virender? Good to see you, Anjula and Sonali. Let me just make myself scarce. Done. So one Sonali is through. Where is the other Sonali? Okay, so taking you over to the next two paragraphs. Here they are. Thank you, Pratyush. Which session are we talking about? The one that I took here on YouTube at 12, or the one that I took for retakers on our app last evening? But in either case, I am happy to help. Okay. Done. Can I take you over to the next one? Okay, so here are the next two paragraphs for you. You must be almost there. I'm sure you've read it. So here are the next set of paragraphs for you. And this is the last slide, by the way, so you can start making those adjustments to your mental overview. Fantastic. So what really happened, what triggered this particular passage was that I went down the rabbit hole of what to eat and what not to eat, how to remain healthy, how to become fitter. You know, lockdown was not very kind on me. I ended up putting quite a few kilos and I wanted to shed them all. But then I love to read, I love to imbibe and soak knowledge, and I started reading about fad diets and what is good, what isn't good. And then in that process, this was one of the things that I saw. And considering that we are getting a lot of passages from biology, especially zoology, in the exams, I thought let's give it a shot. It appears to be in that same ballpark. And does your body tell that to you as well? Have you listened to your body? Does your body do that to you? Does it pick up the right combinations? Not mine. Okay, my body will pick up, even if I'm eating home cooked meals, it will probably gravitate towards combinations which are just satisfying for the tongue. Man, I don't know whether my body even have the kind of intelligence that they talk about or not. Okay, so but that said, let's get into our questions. Here is the first one on your screen. Give me 3 answers and we start discussing. As in, 3 people need to answer. Not a single person cannot, of course, go ahead and give me 3 answers, 3 different answers. So go ahead. Answers from 3 people and we start. Samosa and cola. Thankfully, Pratyush, samosa, I used to get tempted by that a lot, not anymore. Soft drinks also do not tempt me much. So, I don't know. So at least there are a couple of things that my body is doing right. But somehow what I've noticed is that give me something like a pasta or a macaroni or a spaghetti and I can't stop. In fact, I had spaghetti last night. Okay, so got 3 answers and all the 3 answers are picking up C, but look at C. C says to figure out the reasons behind humans and animals behaving differently to a similar test on nutritional wisdom. Does the passage talk about how humans and animals are different? Was this even provided anywhere? And are there any reasons cited behind why we act different from the other animals? I think it was not even mentioned. Okay, Sonali, not to make you jealous or anything, but I had a smoked paneer pizza. Then I had that aglio olio spaghetti, some garlic bread, and I finished off the meal by ordering waffles. That's what I had last night. No wonder I struggled. I've been struggling to lose weight. So C is not even mentioned. C is not even there in the passage. In fact, there is a point where animals are mentioned, but then the paragraph goes on to say that if we are also like that, then we'd also act in a similar fashion. That's the last paragraph. Okay, then D, is the passage talking about mammals or is it talking about humans? Moreover, do we need to inculcate nutritional wisdom, or are those 2 studies proving that our body has an innate nutritional wisdom? So D is also ruled out. A is, I'm sure all of you actually managed to rule out. B is the right answer to find out whether humans have nutritional wisdom or not. Remember those 2 studies, what do they go on to prove? So people used to think that human body does not have that wisdom, but then there are 2 studies that say that hey, we do. So that is what makes B the best answer choice. Okay, next question. Here is the second one. It can be inferred from the passage that. Oh, I am really eager to see your answers. I am in fact gleeful, giddy. I'm just waiting for you to give me the answer to this particular question. Virendra, as per the passage, nutritional wisdom here means that our body knows, is wise enough to opt for nutrients. So, wise enough. It knows what is good for the body and what is not. Okay. Anjila, you've given me 2 different answers. Now, you know why I was excited and giddy? Because the options were designed in such a way that they could fool you. And you know, at times when you are a examiner, when you're a paper setter, you at times have this hidden sadist in you that wants to trouble others, bother others, and when others are bothered, you relish it. So there are some errors introduced in some of these answer choices which are very subtle, and I was looking forward to you falling into that trap. Hopefully I have succeeded. Let us see. So what do we do in inference based questions? We label every answer choice as true, false, or can't say. So okay, A, flavor can be used to manipulate us into eating food items that our body may not desire. Let me take you to the last paragraph. Right? So from this part, we can say that A is true. Let's look at B. The food industry's sinister plans to inculcate unhealthy eating habits have come to the fore. Now, what do we mean by come to the fore? Any guesses? So we use the expression come to the fore to talk about the simple fact that something has come to the attention of public, or something has been made more noticeable, more conspicuous. So the last paragraph does talk about something similar, but does it use the term sinister plans? Number one. Number two, is the food industry trying to inculcate unhealthy eating habits? Are we talking about the entire food industry? Let me once again take you back to that paragraph. So it says it may be turning our nutritional wisdom against us. Maybe. We're not sure. This says maybe. Moreover, the word sinister has a very negative connotation. If you read the paragraph, you do not have that negative a connotation. In fact, I normally, when we attempt an inference based question in RC, I normally ask people to run their answer choices through three basic checks. One of those three basic checks is that the tone of the answer choice should be consistent with the facts it has been drawn from. The facts are mildly negative and they use maybe, but in B we've become definitive and extremely negative. And then come to the fore suggests that the entire public knows it, which is again uncertain, and therefore my label for option B will be can't say. Let's look at C. We humans have a tendency to eat food based on its flavor. Let me once again take you back to the paragraph. I'll just point out towards one word. Let's clear everything else. What does this word tell you? If flavor serves a similar role for humans, we are assuming that, okay, if humans are also similar, then this will happen. But are humans similar to the other animals that have been mentioned in the previous part? We don't know that. The author is not being definitive here. He's saying if we are similar, then we do that. But whether we are similar or not is not certain, and therefore even option C should be can't say. And that is why the best answer choice in this question will be option A and not B, C or D. Some subtle things, right? But then this is how the examiner pushes us, and that is why, you know, a lot of people tell me, sir, the passage was difficult or the passage was easy. See, the truth is, the difficulty of the level of the passage is just one tiny thing. Even an easy passage can be followed by tough questions. It is all about making answer choices close, making the errors really very subtle. So we need to up our game in order to identify all those things. Okay. So let's see. Next question. Virender, what you are saying is true, but that is true on the basis of our general knowledge. The passage, the answers are supposed to be picked up on the basis of the information supplied by the passage. Bhagyashri, typically inference is a conclusion that can be drawn, right? So there are three scenarios that can emerge, but the basic starting point is label every answer choice as true, false, or can't say. So if you see an option as true and the rest of them as false and can't say, you choose the true one as your answer. The second scenario is tricky. Two options as can't say, two as false. So you have to choose the better one between the can't say or even at times among the can't say options, and also more on that later. Virender, passage used the word if humans are like that. So for example, I'd say, your neighbor, he is crazy. You know, he jumped from the roof of his second floor to the ground floor. Now, if you are anything like your neighbor, you also won't hesitate doing such stupid things. Now, from this, can I infer that you do stupid things? It depends on whether you are like your neighbor or not. So there is that bit. Okay, so let us see. Why does Jeff Brunstrom says that the results of studies regarding the presence of nutritional wisdom are hugely significant yet surprising? So this claim has been made in the third paragraph. So hugely significant yet surprising. So which option gives us that? So A, he believes the presence of nutritional wisdom in humans is nothing to be concerned about. Hey, that goes against the passage. The passage says the nutritional wisdom is a good thing. A somehow suggests it is not. So let's eliminate it. B, he believes it to be a generational discovery. See, generational discovery is an important rare discovery. You notice we at times use this expression for some people who are very talented, where we say he is once in a generation kind of a batsman or once in a generation kind of a singer. So what we mean by that is that, supremely talented, very rare. So similarly, generational discovery is very rare but very great. And he also thinks that the findings have deep implications and are quite unexpected. Absolutely. In the context of the passage, each one of these things are backed by some sentence or the other. So this appears right. C, he believes the results need to be corroborated multiple times before coming to any conclusions. Does Jeff Brunstrom believes that we need more studies? Not according to the passage. So we can eliminate it. D, he believes humans are much smarter than animals in terms of nutritional wisdom. Humans are smart in terms of nutritional wisdom, yes, but are they smarter than animals? This is a question that has not been answered by the passage, and therefore even D can be ruled out. So B is the one which is closest to this, and thus that should be our answer. Here is the next one. What's your take? Okay, Bhagyashri, I see your answer. I think if I go through the process of elimination, it's very easy. Why? Let's look at B. What is evanescent? Evanescent is something that is very short-lived, something that is transient, fleeting, just lasts for a moment or two, right? So evanescent is the nutritional wisdom. Age-old dogma is evanescent. No, in fact, the question itself tells you it is age-old. So we cannot use the label evanescent. Let's remove it. C says age-old dogma is subjective and factual. Aren't these contradictory? Subjective is where it is based on your opinion and there is no conclusive evidence for it. But if there are facts involved, then that is going to make it objective. So C can also be ruled out. Then D says fictitious and obsolete. So choice is basically between A and D. So what is that age-old dogma? You need to refer to the first paragraph of the passage. Now the first paragraph says that our body had this wisdom where it favors calorie-dense foods. So it has nutritional wisdom. Let me take you back to the relevant part. It will barely take a minute. Here we are. So you notice the age-old dogma. And that is, the main notion was that animals possess an inbuilt quality of selecting optimal diets for good health, where in the context that optimal diet is calorie dense foods. But if you move further up, it says our choice is influenced by nutrients and not only calories as thought earlier. So what was thought earlier was right, that we have this sense for selecting good diets, although back then they thought good diet is calories, whereas now they are saying that it is actually, apart from calories, it also looks at nutrients. So there is an additional factor involved, and therefore we cannot really say that the age-old dogma is fictitious or obsolete. It is true, but then we need to add that another angle to it, the angle of nutrients along with calorie density, and that is what makes A the best answer choice for us. Oh, Bhagyashri, I think I presume that it is for the fourth one. Okay, here comes the next question for you. Just a hint, the sadist in me was alive and kicking when this question was designed. Yes, prone. You want the meaning of prone? If I tell you that elderly are more prone to something, it means that something is more likely to happen to them. Okay, so when you're prone to something, it means that something negative is more likely to happen to you. In this context, okay, of course, we know that a single word can have multiple meanings. So there are other meanings too. For example, lying face down is also called prone. He was lying prone, lying face down. Okay, so let's look at it. It can be verified that A, people are more prone to fast food. Can't say. Can't say because the first experiment does not even talk about it. Number one, this was mentioned in the last paragraph. It came really late, in fact, even after the second paragraph. And point number two, even after the second study, second experiment. Even in the last paragraph, you remember, oh, just a sec, I dropped my pen. Okay, so even in the last paragraph, you remember the use of the word if. So even if you refer to that, your answer should be can't say. Okay, B, people lack the basic tendency to avoid junk food. Again, not exactly supported by the first experiment, goes beyond the scope, therefore can't say. C, people preferred the combination of apples and bananas to the combination of apples and blueberries. Did that happen in the first experiment? Kind of, but not exactly. I'll just highlight one word for you from that particular paragraph. Let me just show that to you. Here it is. Researchers found that apples and bananas were preferred more than apples and blackberries. What does it mean? It means that there were people who picked up apples and blackberries. There were people who chose apples and bananas. It is just that the number of people who chose apples and bananas was higher. So does that mean all the people preferred apple banana combination? Nope. And that is why even this is going to be can't say, but on the basis of the first experiment we can say that people are nutrient conscious, and that is why our answer should be D. So two things, there are times when questions limit you to one part of the passage, so rely on that, and thereafter it's your regular simple process. Okay, and here comes the last question based on this passage. The meaning of the word liable as used in the fourth paragraph. Let me show you the relevant part. Here it is. So you can quickly check this. Okay. So I hope you've looked at the context. So here is the question again. So liable typically means that you are made responsible for something by law. Okay, or simply put, you legally responsible. Right? So sensible no, accountable yes, notable no, irrepressible no. It's got nothing to do with the meaning. So if you know the meaning of the word liable, I think the options were easy enough for us to zero in on B as our answer. So if you're liable for something, it means that you're responsible for it. It is your duty or your obligation. Right? So that's about our passage. And with that, let's go ahead and solve one odd one out. Okay, so you get 5 sentences, 4 of them belong to the same paragraph, one does not. Choose the one that does not and mark that as your answer. Right, so I'll just write it here so that we don't forget it. This is a paragraph odd one out question, odd sentence out question. I hope you are zeroing in on the answer. Let me throw some hints. Let me highlight some things. This color isn't working that well as a highlighter. This won't work either. Will this work? No. This is turning out to be too dark. Can't highlight, but I'll just underline them. Okay. Does this help? So you notice the it in first refers to neuromarketing. So it's connected with to and should come immediately after it. So now look at 3. 3 introduces this field. Then it says it has taken on a warm, fuzzy glow in the advertising world, where its potential is being widely discussed, claimed as the undeniable wave of future. There is little enthusiasm for this, once again, neuromarketing in the scientific arena. So you notice, introduction has to come at the beginning, thereafter some positivity, then a sentence that is negative, and then once again in 4th, they see neuromarketing as an attempt to turn the art of advertising into a science, which is again negative. So 2nd and 4th is once again connected. Sorry, I wrote 2-1 here, should be 3-1. So I'd actually go ahead and write it as 3-1-2-4 if it were a parajumble. 5th is not talking about neuromarketing. 5th is talking about marketing drawing from psychology. And it's talking about focus groups, etc. from social scientists. If you look at the other 4 sentences, all of them talk about neuromarketing. 5th is talking about something more generic, something that ideally should precede this particular paragraph in terms of the information that is supplied. Okay. So absolutely yes, Gajendra, that's indeed the case. And with that, let's go ahead and tackle one more question. What do you see here? Decide on the proper order for the sentences. So this is what we know as a parajumble. So let's go ahead and get cracking. Here are your 4 sentences. Arrange them in a sequence and share your answer with me. Oh, did I tell you when I was reading up on all these diets and things, I came across an article published in this newspaper called The Mint. I in fact read it in the morning today. It is by Manu Joseph, a columnist that I follow, and normally I read his pieces of writing. The essence of that article is, the article claims that there was a story that tells us that scientists tried to suppress an astonishing finding. And what was that finding? That ice cream might be good for health. Man, I was like, I'm going to research on that further. Yeah, is ice cream good for health? Do read that article, interesting one. Okay, Vedant, that's quick. And for the rest of you who are thinking, let me basically highlight two words here. This is one and this is another, but read this that in conjunction with that should increase our humility. Just focus on these two things and you'd actually end up solving it. So you know that but requires contrast, right? You need to have an opposite idea before sentence number 2, and that opposite idea is given only by third, so 3 and 2 form a mandatory pair. Similarly, if you look at this fourth, and that in turn should increase our humility. The only sentence that talks about something that can increase our humility is this part of sentence 1, that our achievements are largely out of our control. So that can only refer to what is mentioned in 1, so 1 plus 4. So we already have 2 mandatory pairs. Now what should their sequence be? 3 2 1 4 or 1 4 3 2? And all of you know 3 should come before. That introduces the topic, and therefore the correct answer is indeed, as many of you have pointed out, 3 2 1 4. Right? Bhagyashri, read that article. It's actually fun. It says that a lot of studies confirmed it. Although there were some caveats, it talked about people who are overweight or diabetics, pre-diabetics, all that. But I'll check. It'll give me a license to eat more. And here is a thought that sorry, this is not what I had for you, planned for you today. Okay, so here it is. We are not at our best perched at the summit. We are climbers at our best when the way is steep. I just wanted to reinforce this idea. I shared this thought with you, but I thought that I wanted it to go deeper. Okay, so that's it from me. If you liked the session, show it by pressing the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we've had amazing results last year. That's a testimony to our pedagogy. If you also want to benefit from that, you can join our CAT 23 programs. The new batches have started. In fact, another batch is in the pipeline. Hopefully it should start soon. And to make the decision easy, we have a scholarship test on 28th of May. Make sure that you go through that, and it should help you getting up to 90% off. And here is a special session that I want to talk about. It is taken by Saral sir tomorrow at 7, where he'll talk about a way of maximizing your score in CAT 23. So he'll talk about the entire paper. I've talked about VARC over the course of last couple of days. You can benefit from those sessions, but if you want to know more about Quant DILR, this is the session that you must attend. And I'm highlighting it, emphasizing it, because a lot of us, when I go through these sessions, a lot of us tell me that quant is one area that they are worried about, and I can understand. So this session should help you significantly with that. And for more practice, head over to BYJU'S Exam Prep app, where we upload a daily section-wise quiz for you. And keep attending all the sessions of this series so that you go on to become better. That's it from me today. I look forward to meeting you once again really soon. If you're on any of these social media platforms, give us a shout out there. Do join us, and that will also open another way for you to reach out to us. So that's it from me. Until I see you next, stay safe, stay focused, stay in touch. Okay? Have a great day ahead. Take care.